Welcome to Growth Colony, Australia's B2B podcast. I'm Alex from Xgrowth. Each episode, we bring you B2B founders, CMOs, marketing and sales leaders to find out what makes them successful and what was behind their failures, or as we like to call them, hard-learned lessons. If you enjoy the episode, please consider giving us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and share the pod with a friend you think could get value out of it. And of course, make sure to join the community Slack channel at growthcolony.org/Slack. Now, in this episode, there's some occasional coarse language, so just a warning if you've got some kids around. That's enough from me though, let's dive right in.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. I'm Shahin Hoda with Xgrowth, and today I'm talking to the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Bell, founder of multiple digital agencies across the world with some 1,800 employees, and more recently, co-founder of Listening, a platform that helps you find the right mentors to smash your business goals. And we're going to be talking about a number of B2B topics that are relevant to founders and CEOs out there. Topics from identifying trends in the B2B space, picking and finding the right people for your team, and mistakes B2B founders commonly make. On that note, let's dive in. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Man, thank you for having me. It's good to be here. And what an intro, man, the myth, the legend. I haven't been called that before, but thank you.
Well, you know, I had to be the first, right? I had to take that one. But look, Nick, I really want to first start talking about identifying trends. We touched on this a little bit earlier when you're talking about, contactless solutions that are coming out in the market. And you have quite an extensive experience in the B2B space. I mean, multiple digital agencies. I know that, the first digital agency that you started was kind of, you stumbled across it and you fell into it. But after that, and observing you, I feel like you are a lot more methodical in terms of what you find and how you find these organizations that a lot of them are B2B. So my question is, how do you decide how you get into a B2B venture today?
Oh, so there's a couple of parts to this question. I think the question was trends. And I said, first of all, look at an industry that needs to be disrupted. So a perfect example is Uber in the taxi industry. So before Uber, to get a taxi, you'd call up, for example, 1-300 cabs, I believe the number is. And then you'd wait, say, half an hour to 45 minutes for a cab. You couldn't track where it was. You'd call back and say, where's my cab right now? Is it on its way? And then Uber released this app where you can see exactly where the Uber is, how long it's going to take. Is it 4 minutes, 5 minutes? Is it 8 minutes? Completely disrupted that industry, and it needed to be disrupted. It was clunky previously. Now it's obviously a lot more convenient. I think, first of all, look for an industry where you can create convenience for the business. So if you're going to solve a problem or create convenience, then that's a great start. So for my first business, which is the digital marketing agency that I started from my bedroom, I went into an industry where everyone was overcharging for what they were delivering. They were charging $5,000 to $10,000 a month retainers, but delivering $400 worth of value. And they weren't given any KPIs or guarantees. And I said, that's fucking crazy. I said, these guys are just getting spoiled. So I came in, offered KPIs and guarantees, and undercut everyone. Like, it wasn't hard. Like, I didn't have to develop a whole solution. I said, look, no, I'll guarantee it. I'll do this. If you don't, then you stop paying me. And literally, it's all I did. So look for an industry that needs to be disrupted. Are you creating convenience, and are you solving a problem? And then from there, build a business.
Interesting. Okay. And what are some of the, when you're starting your businesses or when you observe a business from an external perspective, what are some of the key factors? Like, if you wanted to say the top 3 things that business needs to get right in order for it to grow, in order for you to get excited about it, whatever it is, but in order for it to be successful, what do you think those 3 things are?
Okay, first of all, show me your marketing strategy, because without business in the door, there is no company. So show me how you're going to generate revenue for the company. That's, for me, number 1. And yes, you can fulfill it and make sure you have a strong back end, but if you don't have a clear path to profitability, then what's the point? Too many business owners refine their service or their product before they launch it. End of the day, if it's good enough, launch it and refine it as you go. But it's never going to be perfect. Just get some money in the door so you don't have to raise money, raise Series A, Series B, Series C. You don't want to keep raising. You want to generate revenue as quickly as possible, so you don't have to give away equity to private equity firms or venture capitalists, you can keep it yourself and grow a big business. So first of all, marketing, absolutely critical. 2, the people you hire. Don't hire bums on seats, hire absolutely talented people. I know that's tough right now with the market the way it is, where everyone is looking for the best talent and everyone's paying top dollar. So how do you win the best talent without basically giving away your life savings? Well, at the moment, you need to provide a very good culture. Maybe you give profit share. I don't know. By the way, you don't even give away equity if you don't have to. So I'd rather give away profit share or a bonus structure than giving away equity to a business, because that equity may be worth $100 million in 10 years, where you could have given them profit share and then given away $500,000. What's your preference? So first of all, marketing, people, and lastly, make sure you can deliver on what you promise. So if you say, I can do X, Y, Z, make sure you do X, Y, Z. Because if you promise X, Y, Z, but you deliver A, B, C, then the client's burned, they're going to cancel, and then bye-bye, you're finished. So if you bring business in the door, have great people, and deliver on what you promise, you're going to build a good business. It's going to be profitable.
Let me ask you about the first point. You said marketing. And it's funny that you said marketing. You have a sales background, right? And a lot of people would say, you have to get your sales right. Why did you specifically said marketing there?
Well, it really depends on what you're selling, whether it's a service or product. But for us, we generate leads for our sales teams. It's more, how do I say, it's more efficient to generate leads and have them cold calling 100 people a day and basically getting told no 100 times a day. I'd rather give you 100 leads per day and you're closing 20% of those leads, which is 20 deals, generating $100,000. So I'm all about how can I deliver the most amount of leads for my sales teams so they can generate revenue for the company. That's how I can scale quicker, rather than cold calling, and maybe closing one or 2 deals a month. It's just not efficient. To me, time is more valuable than money. How do I get to $50 million in revenue in 2 years rather than 10 years? There's a quote by Peter Thiel, who's the founder of PayPal and one of the founding investors in Facebook. He said, what's your 10-year BHAG? Which is what's your big, hairy, audacious goal in 10 years? If you say $100 million in revenue or 1,000 staff, whatever it may be, he asked the question, so what's stopping you from doing that in 6 months?
Yeah, I've heard that one. That's yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. And then that's actually been in the back of my mind lately. So I've got a target for a new business I'm launching. How can I do it in 3 years rather than 9 years? So I'm thinking, I'm working backwards. I need to build these networks. I need to meet these people. I need to bring on these people and so on. So you work backwards. And I think it's a thought-provoking comment, isn't it?
It is. It slaps you in the face.
100%. And it's completely true. How do you've goals X amount, how do you do it in a third of the time? What's stopping you?
Yeah, it's one of I love that question. It's one of those questions that makes you just lean back and be like, huh.
Yeah. And funny, I literally went, shit, that's actually a very good point. So I had an agency that I sold 3-4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, me.
Yeah, so I sold it for X amount, and I'm thinking it took me 9 years to do that. So how can I do that again in 18 months? This is what I'm thinking. So this is the plan. How can I do exactly the same? I'm not going to sell it, but how do I get to the same amount of revenue and growth and client happiness? And I want to absolutely smash what I did in terms of client retention, new business. How can I do it in 18 months? So I've been working backwards to do that. So I go, so this is this. I need to achieve this many sales, this many leads, this contact, average deal size, have this service offering, minimum client retention. How do I maximize client happiness and so on?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. One of the things that you say is that you love starting new projects, right? You might not be a big fan of getting into the details and running them, but you love the initiation process and creating something from nothing. How do you stay on top of things when exactly what you're talking about, right? Because what you're saying, you're getting into a lot of details, right? How do you do that, and how do you not get bored? Is not the right word, but you don't, because this happens quite often. You see the next shiny thing and you're like, oh, I want that now. How do you keep that momentum for some of these projects?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's where I'm actually struggling a little bit at the moment. So I think it's very easy to do if you've got 3 or 4 businesses, but we're at 12 different businesses, and trying to have your input and your involvement in each business day to day is impossible. You just can't physically do it. There's not enough hours in the day. So it comes down to the people that you have driving these businesses or companies. So I think we've got a very strong management team. So my GMs report back to me weekly. We have a weekly management team meeting, and they tell me about the numbers, P&L, conversion rates, retention rates, everything. It's very high level, but it's very hard for me to be involved day to day running of a business in Singapore or in Hong Kong or the US. You can't do it. So I am stretched for time at the moment, and I am launching new projects such as Listening. So I've been working on Listening after hours. So last night I finished at actually midnight trying to do that project. So it's challenging, but you just need good people around you. Like there's an old saying, I think it was Steve Jobs. If Steve Jobs, maybe someone else, if you're the smartest guy in the room, then you're in the wrong room. And I know my strengths, and I've got a lot of weaknesses, and I'm very good at bringing people together and building networks and building connections and having great people work together. But I'm not the best salesperson. I'm not the best technician. I'm not the best marketer, but I try and hire the best and bring them together.
How do you do that, Nick? I feel like that's definitely one of your strengths. You talk about how you would bring somebody into the organization that would work with you for a year, and they would go out and start a new agency in a different country. You've multiple times talked about the importance of people. I mean, we talked about it right here.
Yeah.
How do you find these people? Like, do you think there's a mind shift or a mindset piece that the way you think about people, that it's different from the average Joe that runs a business?
I'm at a stage where I like to work with people that I enjoy working with. If you're an arsehole, we're not going to work well together. If we just don't gel or connect, we're not the right fit. So it's best you work somewhere else. So the people that stay within the business long term, whether they're techies or they're salespeople or marketers, we generally have a common bond and we connect and we treat each other with respect. And end of the day, don't be an arsehole to people. Just be nice. Ask about their family. Ask about their kids. If they're sick, how are you? So I had my financial controller sick in Singapore yesterday. I sent her a text. Are you okay? Is there anything we can help with? Just something small like that. People respond well to that because they go, oh, the MD cares about me. He actually cares about my family. He cares about my well-being. So just treat people with respect and make sure you offer career progression. So if you've got a person in the same position for 4 years, what's the chance that they're going to get bored? Like 9 times out of 10, they're going to get bored. So you need to give them progression. Otherwise, they're going to go somewhere else. So with our company, because we're growing so fast, there's an opportunity to move in different companies or different positions almost daily with us.
Interesting. So do you think that's is that the secret sauce of keeping good people? I mean, attracting. How do you find them in the first place? Right.
I think first of all, you got to build loyalty with your people. Yeah, you got to become friends with them, and they become loyal to you. Pay them well, build a good culture, and give them career progression. If you actually just nail those basic fundamentals, you're gonna fucking retain people. If you're cracking the whip and saying you're 1 minute late today, how dare you, get to work, and micromanaging people, you just cannot do that in this market. You cannot do it because there are so many good opportunities out there right now that another organization will say, no, we don't operate like that. You can come work for us and we'll pay you more money and treat you like a human being. We'll treat you with respect rather than a dictatorship. Like, it's pretty simple, yeah?
Yeah.
I think the old way of managing people, and I hate to say, like, I'm not going to name names, but back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where the boss is in his ivory tower on top of the building, looking down on his employees or her employees, that shit doesn't work anymore. Like, I sit with my guys in the middle of the floor, my desk is like their desk, and I'm in the trenches with the guys, and we talk, I answer questions, I can hear the conversations, which means I can help train them. We're all just the same. Like, yes, we've got a lot of people, but there's a very flat hierarchy in our organization. There's not layers and layers of management. Like, the intern come shoot me a message and say, Nick, I've got a question, can you help me? Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah, man, I think it's the way it should be. I think the market's heading that way. I think the ivory tower way of managing, I think that's going to die slowly. Because if you're managing like that, you're going to lose talent. So you have to evolve. Have to.
What are some of the other mistakes that you see kind of founders make. So we've talked about not treating people right. We've talked about maybe not getting your marketing. Sorry, what are some of the other mistakes that you see quite often when when you're dealing with colleagues, or you're dealing with even your GMs make mistakes, or externally?
Everyone's going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. I think the first thing is people panic and they get stressed, and in that stress they make irrational decisions. So I think sometimes take a step back, relax, don't let ego or stress or anger determine your decision. And I see it all the time. I've had a mate of mine, I'm not connected with his business, but he had a falling out with one of his employees. And he's like, fuck the employee, fuck him, rah, rah, rah. I said, mate, just take a step back, breathe, sleep on it tonight before you email him. And I said I wouldn't even email him. I said, give him a call and just talk to him like a normal human being. He's like, no, I'm going to go to the court with this guy. I said, that's just silly. And I'll tell you who's going to win if you go to court. The lawyers. You're not going to win. He's not going to win. Just take a step back, relax, and give him a call in the morning and just mediate with him. Just find a resolution. And thankfully, he took my advice on. And the next morning, I had a chat. It got resolved in 10 minutes. All done. The employee walked away happy. He walked away happy. All done. But it could have gone down a different path if he went back to that person with ego and anger and stress. So I think, first of all, don't panic. Don't be very careful with decisions. But once you make a decision, go all for it. Go in, mate. If you're in, you're in. If it's the wrong decision, put the handbrakes on quickly and fix it quickly. Don't keep pushing through with it.
Good point. I want to talk about external help now, right? And in the process of growing WME, even currently running the businesses that you do, has there been situations or experiences where you would reach out for external help?
I can talk about this for a long time, actually. So I had, in the early days of WME, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't ask for help. And I thought I knew more than I actually did. But the thing is, you don't know what you don't know, the old saying. And I realized I didn't know a lot. And about 5 years ago, I found a mentor by chance. And that mentor helped me in business and in my personal life. Then I found a second mentor for a different part of my life. So now I have different mentors for different things. I've got a mentor for my property interest, a mentor for people and culture, a mentor for my tech side of my company. And I ask these guys questions all the time. I'm a massive hoe when it comes to information. I'm like, can you answer this question for me? Man, I don't care. I'm happy to hoe myself out and say, look, I just want to learn from you guys because you guys are much stronger in this area than me. Whereas the one thing I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but when it comes to business, I'm not ego driven. I know I don't know a lot, so I want to learn from other people. It doesn't need to be the founder of Netflix. I can learn from anyone that's on the same level or better than me. If someone's got a business of a revenue of $100,000 and I'm at $100 million, I'm probably not going to learn from that person. But if someone's at the same level or greater, I'm probably going to learn from them because they've been through it, they've done it. Mentors, they're generally not smarter than you. They've just got more experience. It's 100% experience. And I would have made a lot less mistakes if I had a mentor at WME. I made a lot of mistakes, and I think I could have fast-tracked my growth by a third at least, if I had a mentor and I listened to him or her. But I was like, no, I can do it myself. I was an idiot. When I found a mentor 5 years ago, my wealth grew substantially. I became a better husband and a better father. And if I had that previously, I could have fast-tracked my life and my career. I'm all for mentors, and that's why I'm launching Listening.
Yeah, which is my next question.
Mate, mentors are a game changer. I actually had dinner with one of them last night, and I don't call them mentors. I call them good friends that give me great advice. But the reality is they're a mentor. And in the day, I want to learn from as many people as possible, because listening to an audiobook is great, or listening to a podcast is fantastic, but it's not personalized information. Well, I might have a current situation that I need help with that situation, whereas a podcast can't give me that. It's generic information. So if I'm in a bind, or I'm about to do an investment or expand a company, I'm like, just say my mentor is David, for example. David, this is a situation. What are your thoughts? How would you handle it? And what do you recommend? And then he would then give his advice around it. And then it's my choice whether I take the advice on board, but generally it's pretty good advice.
Got it. Got it. And how do you manage the relationship between, yourself and a mentor or, a friend? Do you personally, right? Because there are a lot of mentors who would, do it for maybe a fee. There are some people who would do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Yep.
How do you manage your relationship with your mentors?
Well, these mentors are friends of mine, so I don't pay them a fee, but I refer them a lot of business.
Right.
So in reality is, yes, I'm not paying them a fee, like $1,000 for their mentorship, but I'm referring them. I actually referred one of them about a $500,000 contract. So I think it's almost like the pay it forward, do something nice for someone, and in return, there may be benefits. And this is what's happening. But I would happily pay them, geez, I'd pay them a lot of money because I'd pay them whatever they wanted to advise me. Because if I pay $1,000, good chance I can make $100,000 from it. The rewards are endless.
Yeah, one good piece of information and it changes the game, right?
For example, when I was going through the acquisition 4 years ago, so when my company was being acquired by an ASX listed company, one of my mentors had been acquired by the same company. And yeah, so I got some great information, and I made it an extra $15 million out of the sale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just from advice, and that's all it was. And he recommended a lawyer that probably saved me another $70,000. So just things like that. And having mentors actually gives you opportunities to their networks, because you obviously meet them. They go, oh, this is my friend Nick, and then they open up their networks to you. So it's not just about advice; it's actually getting access to their networks as well. And people underestimate the value of a strong network. It is so important. What's Grant Cardone say? More contacts equals more contracts.
Of course.
How good? How good is that?
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
He does have these sayings, doesn't he? He like throws them out. There's another thing that he says, well, weekends make you weak or something like that.
Weekends make you weak.
Yeah.
Yes. And he always says, always show up. And I listened to one of his videos, I think back in November last year, and I listened to it and I was like, fuck, he's actually right. If you're sick, I'm not talking like deathbed sick, but I'm talking if you're just unwell, got the flu, or you just can't be bothered, doesn't matter. You always show up. And that's going to be my motto this year is always show up, no matter if it's like exercising or work or meetings or a networking event, always show up. If I committed and you've said yes, you've got to be there.
Got to make it happen.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Okay. Before I move on, I have a few rapid questions I want to ask you, right? But before I do that, is there anything else around, kind of advice for B2B founders, finding trends, finding people, anything that maybe I didn't touch on that you think it would be valuable for us to talk about?
If you're trying to find talent right now, use every avenue possible. So that means posting on job boards, and I'm talking every job board, using LinkedIn to find talent. If you need be, use recruiters, but you're going to be super clever with how you're recruiting talent right now, especially tech talent. Everyone wants talent. Like I said, we're recruiting for hundreds of people right now, and it's just not us.
Yeah.
Other companies are as well. And whoever has the best offering and gets in first is going to get the talent.
I hear you. I mean, yeah, we're a much smaller organization, of course, and we're trying to hire, and not happening.
Man. I've been on LinkedIn, bloody reaching out to people. I'm like, hey, I've got an opportunity for you. I'm like, whatever it takes, you've got to get on there and just make it happen.
Yeah, I hear you. It's crazy. No, thank you very much for that. Okay, rapid questions. I got 3 of them. First one is, what is one resource? It could be a book, blog, podcast, talk, etc., that fundamentally changed the way you work or live. And you can't say Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson.
No, I've got it. It's called Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. I read that late last year, and there is so much gold out there. It's basically rituals of thought leaders, celebrities, and the world's best business leaders.
Did you read that back to back?
Yeah.
Because that's a
it's a meaty book, but mate, it is full of gold.
Really? I'm always intimidated by the thickness of that book and his other books, to be honest.
And listen to the audiobook on fast forward, you call it. So
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, Tools of Titans, business and personal life, game changer.
Number 2, if you could give one advice to B2B founders, what would it be?
They've got a current business or they want to get into business?
No, they have a current business.
B2B founders, make sure you're on LinkedIn. Be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn it's free, it's easy to use, and most business leaders are on there. So you've got access to anyone instantly.
Last one. What are some of the influencers that you follow?
It's a good question, because I've actually been, no one that really inspires me at the moment. I'm impressed by, obviously, Elon Musk is a usual suspect. Business leaders, I'm inspired by Dr. David Sinclair. He's not a business leader, but he's a longevity expert, as I mentioned to you before we jumped on this. Elon Musk, because I think what he does is phenomenal. And Dr. David Sinclair is around longevity. And I want to live longer so I can do more business. So it kind of does relate.
I love it.
But this is to your audience. If they come across any strong business leaders locally in Australia, man, I'd love to know. Because I'm not looking for fluffy content. It's like, don't fear you. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, teach me stuff I need to know. Like, I need to learn more about business. Like some golden nuggets. This is what I'm looking for.
Well, why do you say that? Is that because you're having a hard time finding that in the Australian market?
I am. I'm struggling to find people here that actually talk real business advice.
Why do you think that's the case? What are your thoughts?
Maybe the strong business leaders aren't posting content. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not saying the ones who are posting content aren't strong, but it's a little bit. I know it has a market. It's just not for me. I'm looking for more business tangible advice that I can use in my businesses. Like Tools of Titans, I got a lot of gold out of that.
Yeah, I think I've mustered up more energy, more strength now to go and have a look at Tools of Titans.
Just do it; it'll change your life.
I've looked at it before, and I was like, whew, but I'm gonna definitely check it out. Nick, thanks so much for jumping on. Really appreciate it, and I truly enjoyed the conversation.
Excellent, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Cheers, dude.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and sharing the pod with a friend. If you'd like to continue the conversation, please make sure to join the community Slack channel at growthcolony.org/Slack. growthcolony.org/Slack. Thanks again for all the support, and we're looking forward to seeing you again in the next one.